Welcome back to Common Ground, an inside look at Suffolk County. I'm your host, Sheriff Steve Tompkins. Now, on this side of the program, we're going to talk to two gentlemen, Kevin Davis and Marcsene Torchon from Strive, and they're going to talk to us about how you work with individuals that I would just categorize as the hard to employ. They'll flesh that out a little bit more for us. But the mission of the organization is to really help folks get back into the labor force or get into the labor force. So without any further ado, gentlemen, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having
Thank you for
really,
having us.
really appreciate it. Kevin, you're the operations director?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
and so before you tell us what your job is, tell us what is the mission of Strive?
So the mission of Strive is to work for those that are hard to employ, those that have been chronically unemployed due to low job skills, maybe they were incarcerated, mothers who've been out of workforce with their children for a number of years. And so we work with these people to try to provide them with the skills they need to re-enter the workforce, and not just re-enter the workforce to get minimum paying jobs, but to get higher skilled jobs through some of the services that we offer to them through our training.
Now, how do they find you, or how do you find them? Are they referred to you? Do you guys do outreach? How does that work?
So we do a combination of the two. We do outreach through the DTA offices. We go out. DTA, Department of Transitional Assistance.
Okay.
We also we put flyers out in the community. We go to and they're referred to us through those offices. We also we do extensive outreach into the community. So we have a 5-week training cycle that we go through, and in the break, in the 2 weeks between our training cycles, we do a massive outreach into the community to let people know about the services that we have available.
So, Director of Operations, do you oversee these training cycles?
I do. So I oversee all of the programs that Strive operates. So not only the training cycles, we also offer Microsoft certification training, and also we now have a new program for youth called Strive for the Future, and I oversee that program as well.
And so, Marcsene, you oversee, you work with the youth component of what Strive is, is accomplishing. First and foremost, what are the ages of the folks that are in the youth component?
So they would have to be between the ages of 18 to 24.
And tell us about it. What do you do? Is it basically the same curriculum that is offered to the older folks, the adults? And what do you do exactly with them?
So we run off the same model as the Strive program. The only difference is that we serve a certain population and we offer additional services to that population as well. As a case manager in the program, I manage the participants in that program. And Strive for the Future is an incredible program because we are offering a lot of resources and opportunities for these young adults. And my job is not only to provide that, but to make sure they succeed in this program as well.
So in tough economic times, when it's hard for folks with, you know, bachelors and masters and PhDs to find jobs, how is it that you guys go about working with these young adults to get them prepared to go into the world of work?
Well, Strive for the Future is a well-rounded program, I like to say, because they're receiving training and resources from on so many levels. And to give you an example of that is the first thing that they would do is do a job training, which lasts for 5 weeks, which is the core training. So we address attitude adjustment, how to dress like a prospect rather than a suspect, and to expand their skill set. So this will become an advantage for them, especially at their age. So if they obtain a job in the future, they will have more likely to keep that job, which is harder than getting a job. So that's the first experience in the Strive for the Future program. And we pair them with a mentor whom they meet with once a week. They have to do 1 hour of community service, which is excellent because, you know, it builds character and they have an opportunity to contribute to their community as well. And the final component is to receive hard skills training, where we partner with several programs where they can receive Microsoft Office training, culinary arts, nursing assistant. So by the time they complete this program and walk out that door, not only will they have a skill, they will have job training, they would have the right mindset and attitude and the desire to really have succeed, and they'll have a bright future with all these resources at their disposal.
So, Kevin, take me through a day in the life of one of the classes. So you go for 5 weeks. Walk us through. Let's start with the week. From week to week, 1 to 5. What is it that you do? And then give us a day when your folks come in the morning and get to the end of that day. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. So what we do in the first week. So the first day we have actually the Friday before the cycle starts. We have an orientation. And so we bring them in for 2 hours and we let them know what to expect in the program. So then week 1, they come in and we begin working on their attitude, right? Because a lot of them have been unsuccessful because they don't have the proper attitude in the workplace. So we help them, we do what we call attitudinal training. We help them have the proper attitude and mindset in the workplace. And then we work on, in week 1, we also work on attire. So we want them to have the proper dress. So we talk to them about that. And later on in the training, in the cycle, we also take them to get proper attire. So we make sure that they have at least one outfit that they can wear to go out when we get to the interviewing phase. So that's in week 1. So we work on the attitude, we're working on dress. In week 2, we begin to help them write resumes and cover letters. So now they're preparing to go out into the workforce. So we help them with that, and we're also giving them some of the Microsoft Word training during this time as well. So they can learn how to write the resumes and cover letters. And then also during that, the second week, we're also preparing them for mock interviews, which we begin in the third week. So now we take them, we've got them with the proper attitude, dress, we've given them some, taught them how to write a resume, and now we do mock interviews with them. And week 4, we have them start doing applications online, and also we start taking them out to look for work.
So applications for real jobs,
For
not
real
just
jobs, that's
kind
right.
of practice exercise.
Yeah, real employment. And then in week 5, we also take them out for, during most of that week, we take them out looking for work, have them put in more applications, and then we also have the graduation on the last Friday of the 5th week.
So before you tell me what a day in the life is like, are you affiliated with organizations, with employers that are willing to receive your folks and give them jobs, or do you just say, hey, you've got the training, good luck?
Yeah, so we have a great placement specialist who then provides, so that, after they complete the core training, they go into our phase 2 of the training, that's job placement. So while we're doing this, for those that don't get a job, right, we have a placement specialist who works with them after they complete the training to continue that search. We get calls from employers all the time. We go to our database, we search for fits, and we send out emails to them or call them to invite them to go on interviews at these employers. So yes, we work with a lot of employers who contact us directly for our staff. I'm also working on relationships with other employers so that we can become a referral source directly for them. So we'll train their staff. They know that, and they're contacting us because they know that our staff, the people that we provide to them have been trained in proper work etiquette, and so that they're going to be a better employee than just somebody they hire off the street. So yes, we are working with employers as well.
And finally, what is a day like? So you come in the morning, what time do they get there?
So our day is a 9 to 5 day. So we expect them to come in at 9 o'clock, and if they come in late, there's consequences. And if they continue to come in late, they could actually be asked to return the next cycle. So they could actually be fired from our cycle and asked to return because, again, we want to treat this like a work environment. So we expect them to come in at 9 o'clock, and depending on the day, they have work that they do usually from 9 to 1. They have a lunch break at 1 o'clock. And then in the afternoon, we have other activities for them to do. It could be the interviewing, it could be we also have a GED component in college prep. So 2 days a week we offer GED and college prep. So it may be they're in that place where they're working on their GED or doing college prep. So we break it up into just like a normal day, 9 to 1, lunch, 2 to 5.
Now you say fired. Does that mean they're getting paid while they're in this program?
No. So we treat it like a job, so we want them to treat it like a job. So when we ask somebody to leave, we actually tell them they've been fired from a job because this is what would happen in a real world environment. So we want them to feel the effects of being fired. And then they're welcome to come back the next cycle. So they're terminated basically from this particular training cycle, and they can return in the next cycle. And some do, and then they're successful because now they know what to expect.
So Marcsene, particularly from the standpoint of attitude adjustment and working with folks in a way that will introduce how you comport yourself professionally on the job site, how difficult or not is it to reorient the way these young folks are thinking and acting, particularly when you're trying to get them into the labor force?
I think it really depends on the individual, some more extreme than others. From my experience, I think that, it really would depend on, because when you deal with an individual specifically, you would have to really know where they're coming from in order to help them get to where they want to go moving forward. So it really depends on the individual basis, but I think that it's something that's very possible, and they are very capable. It's just you just have to meet them halfway and show them there are opportunities and there is hope in spite of what their current circumstances are.
And one of the things that we do with the young people in Marccene's program is we do a portfolio with them. We sit down when they first come into the program and we find out what their needs are. And so we address that. And so we want to help them because some of the times with the young people, they have unmet needs. And so we want to help them address those needs. So wherever we can, it might mean maybe they need an ID or they need a bus pass or to get back and forth. So we work with them, right? We also encourage them by providing a stipend for them while they participate in the program. So both through the core training as well as through the this hard skills training that Marcsene was talking about, we provide a stipend for them, right, as an incentive for them to continue to participate in the program.
So what happens if you encounter an individual that really just doesn't get it? I mean, not the academic portion of it, but just conducting themselves in an appropriate manner. Do you ask them to leave? Do you give them a second chance? How does that work?
Yes, so we do something. So a participant that gets terminated from the program can actually be readmitted to the program by another staff member. We do something that we call catch, right? So we try to see if there's a way that somebody else, maybe they're having a problem with that particular instructor or a staff member. So somebody will try to intervene before they actually walk out the door to see if there's any way or anything that can be done to maybe address their need, have them talk about the issue, apologize about whatever happened, and before they leave out of the door. So we do try to stop a participant in most cases when it's not something that's a flagrant violation, where we want to encourage them to, well, go back in there, what we used to call them, go back and fight for your job. As we would expect them to do on a real job, right? So again, we try to make this as real as possible in a work environment for them. So we try to catch them before they get out to have them go back in and let the trainer know they want to be in the program and they're going to abide by the requirements of the program.
So let me ask you, what is the gender breakdown? I mean, is it more women or men or kind of equal?
It's almost equal. I mean, I would say that it's probably 60-40. So we probably have 60% women and 40% men.
Okay.
But it's a pretty diverse group, and even between we break down the groups by general population and ex-offender population. Okay. And the only reason we do that is because we are addressing with the ex-offender special issues that might be present in there, such as how to deal with their quarry and issues around their quarry. So we give them some special attention around the areas of that. And a lot of times they do come together, both groups are together, but we do separate them by that. And so, and in those two, it's probably about 60-40.
Now, what kind of aftercare do you have? I mean, once they are out of your care and they've